Again, if you're a liberal, I understand this doesn't bother you. And you may say, well, Trump's lied too. Ladies and gentlemen, yeah, Trump has said things that aren't true. Every single politician has. I'm not suggesting to you that in this transactional time where people's political goals supersede everything, that this is going to alter any liberal's mind. I'm simply telling you, if you are an independent out there listening to this show or you're debating a liberal, there may be someone who will be swayed because none of this stuff is actually true. So Kamala Harris and Joe Biden on the new Harris-Biden ticket. Yeah, it's Harris-Biden. Please stop saying Biden-Harris. It's the Harris-Biden ticket. Biden is an empty vessel. And I'll get to a Babylon Bee article, but it's the Harris-Biden ticket. Harris will be the de facto president, okay? So on this show, it'll be the Harris-Biden ticket because that's what it is. So they were introduced to America yesterday, dutifully walking out, one of the most cringeworthy moments I've ever seen. Of course, the speech was celebrated by the left-wing media. The speech Joe Biden gave where he repeatedly lied, and the speech Kamala Harris gave, which I don't know if she said anything that was actually true. The media was like, it was awesome. She's the best. The future. A star is born. Again, remember yesterday's show? Tell me something good. There we go. The star is born was back yesterday, despite the fact that she got almost no votes in the Democratic primary, as I said on Hannity's show last night. It's not that Republicans rejected Kamala Harris. I'm a Republican. I can't vote in a Democrat primary. Democrats in the Democrat primaries rejected Kamala Harris to the point she didn't even make it to Iowa. Remember that? She dropped out before the Iowa caucus because Democrats disliked her. We didn't even get a say. It wasn't our primary. It was theirs. Here's a great piece in National Review. Be up in the show notes today, bongino.com/newsletter. If you want to subscribe to our newsletter, the show notes, same thing. I use the terms interchangeably. This is a really great article. Cal Smith, National Review. Kamala Harris lies repeatedly in first speech as Biden's running mate. Now, I'm going to lay out the lies, and then at the end, let me not forget here, because sometimes I get into stuff and I forget, and it really kind of ticks me off. Let me be clear what I'm not doing here. I'm going to debunk these lies because you need to understand the truth, because you need to debate your liberal friends, not because you're going to change their minds. You're not. As Paula said this morning, it was a great point she made before the show. She goes, Dan, you do these shows about lies and the Democrats, and it doesn't matter. Like, the media is going to repeat the lie anyway. No one's going to call them out, and they're just going to repeat the same lie again. It does matter. It does. She's right about that. She's not wrong, but it does matter because remember, you're not arguing with your liberal friends or the media. They lie on purpose. They know they're lying. They don't care if you call them out. You're arguing on Facebook and you're debating in public and you're knocking on doors and telling people the truth because you hope there's a third party listening, not that liberal. They don't really care. They lie on purpose. But there's someone listening in that third party that will be persuaded and realize that you have the facts and the liberals never do. I'm going to get to after this, though, how this is very transactional now. And I don't think this is going to impact liberals at all. But it's important we get the truth out. So let's go to lie number one. Yesterday. Again, an easily debunked, discredited lie, which she'll repeat 1,000 times over. Kamala Harris said yesterday, the president's mismanagement of the pandemic has plunged us into the worst, economic crisis since the Great Depression, Kamala Harris said. Well, that's false. Ladies and gentlemen, that's categorically false. Kyle Smith from National Review goes on, the pandemic and its associated lockdowns, not the president, are responsible for the economic contraction. Folks, that's obvious. Is that not obvious? I mean, what kind of an idiot doesn't understand that? Of course, Kamala Harris, she's not dumb. She's just lying. Trump did it? It was the plague. It goes on. By the way, Donald Trump is not the president of the Eurozone, which suffered through an even more dire economic contraction in the second quarter, minus 40% annualized against the minus 32% in the United States. She's just not telling you the truth. The economy was motoring and firing on all cylinders outside of the debt problem before this plague imposed upon us from China, before it hit. Harris knows that, but she's just repeating it anyway. That's an easily discredited hoax. That's an easy one. This one's even more brazen, lie number two, where you scratch your head and you're like, does she even watch the news, or is she like Stern, getting the news from the National Enquirer? People make, actually, National Enquirer's pegged more stories than let me take that back. I'm not even kidding. The National Enquirer actually broke the John Edwards story. So scratch that. They're very reliable compared to the mainstream media. Getting it from like the Babylon Bee, which is intentional satire. She says yesterday, Kamala Harris, in the Litany of Lies speech, she said, just look at where Trump and Pence have gotten us. Millions of kids who cannot go back to school, Harris said. Wait, come to me for a second. Wait, what? Again, Senator Harris, do you even watch the news? Do you do the newsy thing? Because there's only two options. It's Trump and Pence keeping your kids out of school, our kids out of school. There's only two potential solutions to this or answers to this obvious absurdity. Number one, she's just blatantly lying. Or number two, again, she's too silly to figure it out. That's not the truth. Go back to that, please. Number two. National Review, quote, wrong. It's not Trump's decision whether kids go back to school because the federal government doesn't run schools. And he has urged the schools to reopen. Did she miss all that? The primary reason kids cannot go back to school is opposition from teachers' unions. The second largest teachers' union is threatening to strike if schools reopen. Again, she will repeat this lie that Trump caused the economic contraction, not the pandemic. The second lie that it's Trump and Pence getting in the way of your kids going back to school, despite the fact that a basic interweb search, if you get the joke, would show you that is absolutely categorically false. And the opposite is true. 180-degree difference from what she's telling you. She doesn't care because out of the two options, she's a real liar or she's really stupid. She's not really stupid. We know that. That may make people feel good to say she's really stupid. She's not. She's just deliberately lying, hoping that you'll buy it. And when I say you, I mean swayable independent voters whose votes may still be up in the air. She's not trying to sway liberals. You understand what I'm trying to get at here? Liberals know she's lying to them. They don't care.
Right.
They are transactional. That's it. They're not ethical. I'm not talking about all liberals or all Democrats. I want to be clear because there are some who do care. Just like there are some conservatives who care when other politicians say things that aren't true. The radical left and a lot of the liberals who teeter with them don't care at all that this is an easily discredited lie. They're transactional. They want a transaction to take place. The morals and ethics of it are irrelevant. The transaction is they want President Joe Biden to take over for former President Donald J. Trump. Whatever they have to do to get there is what they'll do. Morals and ethics be damned. Here's the third lie. You're like, the speech wasn't that long. No, it goes on. There were more. I'm just giving you four. Kyle Smith, National Review. Kamala Harris said yesterday, the virus has impacted almost every country. But there's a reason it has hit America worse than any other advanced nation because of Trump's failure to take it seriously. Okay, so there's a premise in this. The premise is what? That we have been hit worse than any other advanced nation. Right? You saw the quote. I just read it to you. Her line, her quote, not mine. So again, either Kamala Harris is a liar or is really dumb. Well, we know she's not really dumb, which means she's a liar. Because that's not what happened. It hasn't hit us worse than any other advanced country. Back to the piece. Wrong. Several advanced nations have suffered more fatalities per million than the United States. Belgium, the UK, Spain, Italy, Sweden. Donald Trump is not in charge of any of these countries. Last time I checked. UK, Belgium, Sweden. Yeah, Trump, no. Trump, United States, Sweden. She's just making that up. She's lying because she's very good at it. That's how she got where she is. She's lied repeatedly over and over and over. Again, if you're a liberal, I understand this doesn't bother you. And you may say, well, Trump's lied too. Ladies and gentlemen, yeah, Trump has said things that aren't true. Every single politician has. I'm not suggesting to you that in this transactional time where people's political goals supersede everything, that this is going to alter any liberal's mind. I'm simply telling you, if you are an independent out there listening to this show or you're debating a liberal, there may be someone who will be swayed because none of this stuff is actually true.
You just heard Dan Bongino.